I'm just getting everything set up. Hopefully this kicks in so I can see if you guys can see me. I also stream through TikTok on a different phone, so that's what I'm reaching towards right now. Hey Cynthia, how are you? All right, perfect. Everything's coming up. Yeah, so tonight I am just gonna play around. It's basically like a jelly roll, but it's like strips. They sell them at Walmart, and I want to make some new pillows for my couch, or pillow covers, I guess you could say. The ones that came with it are like starting to pill. So I got this really cool jelly roll. I did an exchange, and it's Here Kitty Kitty by Moda. And I want to test out how this is going to work on some, more inexpensive fabric before I go full bore with that expensive jelly roll. Oh, last Tuesday, I was so tired. I told Jason I purposely scheduled yesterday the live so I couldn't be like, oh, I'm tired. Last Tuesday, we were opening up the pre-order, and I also was like applying for a lot of things for like assistant principal positions and stuff, and it took way longer than I expected, where I felt like I had no downtime. So yeah, that's where I was Tuesday. Not really a good or exciting excuse, but that's where I was. But I'm here tonight. I'm not tired, so should be good, and hopefully I'll get a nice design out of this. I don't think I'm gonna do the whole pillow because I've made a whole bunch of puff quilt pillowcases for the couch, and those are like the envelope style. Where this, I want to actually replace the cushions that came with it, so I want to put in an invisible zipper, and I have an invisible zipper foot and I have invisible zippers, but I really need to watch some tutorials on how to do it properly. So tonight I just plan on doing the front of the pillowcase. And this is actually a willow wristlet that I made last year and did a tutorial for on my channel. If you search willow wristlet, it comes up. And I use this same exact jelly roll, which is why it's open to make this. So I really love the pastel colors together. So I'm excited to try it. And my thought is I'm literally gonna do it kind of like log cabin style, where I just like build on each thing. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's my 16th year as a teacher, and so I have my certifications for assistant principal, or here in New York City they call it education administrator. So I've just been trying to apply for different things to, take it to the next step. Hey Janet, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad, Cynthia. Yeah, I love the willow wristlet too. I use that for when we go to concerts here. There's a couple venues where they don't have to be clear, but they have to be under a certain size, and that was the inspiration for that willow wristlet. All right, and so I believe these strips are 2.5 inches across. So I'm just gonna unfold them, and my plan is I'm literally just gonna cut like a 2.5 inch square and just keep building on that and rotating the colors. And I'm hoping it turns out nice. So yeah, there's five different colors in here. And I like experimenting with more inexpensive fabric. If you're just hopping on, this is basically a jelly roll. They call them strips from Walmart. And the fabric it's a little thin. But for what I'm using it for, it's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not picky about it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been catching up. I also feel like I've been in somewhat of a sewing slump. Like, I've done quite a bit of crocheting and stuff, but I haven't been sewing as much as I really like wanted to. So this past weekend I caught up on all my cotton cuts, quilt blocks, and just trying to, I have a pile over here of off the camera that's like stuff to be sewn, I guess you could say. So I started really working through that. Oh, I'm so glad, Janet. Yeah, so we call it Majestic nylon. Um, it's the same thing that every custom shop has like its own name for it. A lot of people call it bonded nylon. Um, Fabric Therapy calls it their Theratex. Um, One of them calls it like dragon sheen, fairy fabric. It's every custom shop has their own name for it. So we call it Majestic nylon, and it has that nylon front and the white soft backing. So basically, like, it's really good for like beach bags and stuff. It's waterproof and wrinkle proof. Actually, let me see. I think I have. Yeah, so if you're wondering what Janet's asking about, I did a giveaway in my group last week. This is our 5th year of So Majestic. And so this is the base that I'm talking about, where it's that nylon front, like you can kind of hear it, and then it has that soft white backing. And I really like it for bag making, especially if you're sewing on a domestic. It can be a little slippery on the front. Some people find that they have a little trouble with that. It doesn't bother me just as long as you know going in, I feel like I can hold it and so it doesn't shift too much. So I hope you love it, Janet. I can't wait. When you make something with it, definitely post it because I would love to see. Last week we did like a very quick turnaround pre-order because all the factories are going to be taking their holiday for Lunar New Year. But we also ordered a restock of some of the Majestic nylons and the water resistant canvas. And actually, like, our supplier even calls it waterproof canvas. We just call it water resistant because it doesn't have that thicker backing, so the edges can fray. Oh, cool! For your centerpiece of the table. That's awesome. Yeah, my niece found this chicken when we were at Walmart. Like, I'm not going to say it right. Amigurumi, like the stuffed animal crochet. And she's like, can you make this for me? And I was like, I'll try. So I made one a chicken, and then the other one wanted a cow. And so now I'm working on I have to do the bumblebee for my 3rd niece. Oh, yay, Janet, arena. I want to make the arena. I love that, the look of that so much. But yeah, so we also put in a big pre-order for a bunch of vinyl. We used to carry lace vinyl. We haven't had it in a while since it sold out. So we picked quite a few colors that are like springtime colors. And this other floral embossed fabric that we used to have. Basically, we have a lot of yardage of fabric and new vinyl rolls coming in. And that's because hopefully we are going to be vending somewhere in April. I don't want to announce it officially yet because like, I applied, I was approved, I paid for it, but I haven't received like the official communication about it, so I don't want to tell people until it's like 100% official. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that you know, this year brings a lot of good things. Oh, the chicken Majestic nylon sold out. We did a sale right before New Year's. And a lot of the Majestic nylon prints sold out. I think what we have now in Majestic nylon are the cat ones on the bookshelf. There is a flamingo. I think there might be a palm tree. There's maybe like 6 different prints right now, but I just ordered 17 more prints. Some of them are brand new, and some of them will be like a restock. Like I restocked the Paris print and paper planes and travel stamps, because those seem to be our most popular and sell out every time. Oh, you like the frogs? Yeah, I love the frogs. I love all animals. I'm a big sucker for like the animal pulls, the animal prints, um, anything like that. I don't believe that I ordered the chicken one for a restock. I can on the next time though. I I put the pre-order out. So I ordered anything that people pre-ordered, and the chickens weren't one of them. And then I added a couple prints that I personally wanted. So I'm just gonna keep building on this until I get about a 24, 25-inch square. So I'm just pressing my seams each time to the outside. And so I cut these 2 down to 2.5 inches to start. But now what I'm going to do is just keep grabbing the strips in the order that I started and cutting them as I go. Oh no, please tell me I can bring that chat back up. There we go. I meant to I just accidentally swiped out of it. Yeah, it was really quick, Cynthia. We actually didn't really even intend to open up a pre-order. But the opportunity to vend, we were thinking about it, and the show falls during April break for me, so I wouldn't have to take days off of work. So we're like, okay, well, if we do a show, then we definitely need to order more. So that's kind of what influenced it and why it was so quick. And it was also so quick because with the factories going to Lunar New Year, that if I wanted them to print within a certain time, I only had 4 days to get the order in. Because a lot of the factories for Lunar New Year will shut down from anywhere from 2 weeks to a whole month. They call it their spring festival. Plus, I know I've had a few people reach out, but things have been really slow. It's picking up a little bit, but it's been slow. I think it's just the year and the economy for sure. Because this being our 5th year, I can see the trends from the past years. But also with Christmas and the holidays and stuff, it slows down in the shop all the time every year around this time, or in December, I mean. And I'm just sewing this. I don't think I mentioned it. I'm just sewing this with Gutermann thread right now. I had it in from doing the quilt blocks I didn't switch it out for my Text 35, like which I usually use for the bag making and stuff. So, and I'm not gonna quilt on top of this, or at least not yet. So actually, like my top and my bobbin don't even match right now. I'm happy to be on tonight and chatting with everyone. Sometimes, like, I'm definitely one of the people that are like, oh, it's so dark early and like tired. I feel like my bursts of energy are always like later at night. So that's always why I put the live for 8. That, and I feel like it works well for people on the West Coast. Oh, nice. Yeah, my dad actually taught me to crochet when I was really young, like probably like 8 or so. And I always grab yarn and I'm like, I'm going to crochet. And then I'll start something and never finish it. But when I was home visiting for the holidays, I was like, okay, I'm going to make something. So I actually crocheted myself a winter hat and finished it. So that kind of like inspired me. So now I have a like a baby blanket going, and or I guess it could be a baby blanket, and I got to start the bumblebee. I have my grandma and my great aunt actually crochet baby blankets all year long, and one of my aunt donates them to like local hospitals for the babies, and then my grandma, whenever we have like a baby shower or something, we're always like, hey Graham, do you have a blanket? And so I have 2 friends that one just had a baby and then the other is due. So I got blankets for them, but I'm like, I know how to crochet. Like I could make some too. So that's what I've been working on. Hi Arnetta! It's cold here too. I'm not ready for it. I think tomorrow's only supposed to be like in the single digits. Oh, thanks, Dad. Yeah, I actually just finished a hat for my sister, so we're joking. When I see her again, I'm like, I hope it fits. Yeah, it's been cold and snowy here in New York. Thankfully, we did not get as much snow. Like, we probably got like an inch or 2, but it was mixed with a lot of rain. But there's supposed to be more snow coming this weekend, so we'll see. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really young. Yeah, I made a blanket when I was younger, and I think a scarf too. And Dad taught me it was the granny stitch I started with. And that's actually the blanket that I'm working on. But I paused it to work on the hat because I'm definitely one of those people that need like not instant gratification, but I needed to see something completed to keep being motivated. So I was happy that I finished the hat. Oh, I bet in Pennsylvania too. Did you guys get a lot of snow? Yeah, upstate New York for sure. My parents in Connecticut also got like 6 or 7 inches. So, oh, ice storms, yeah, oh, those are no joke. And especially down south, because down south there's, you know, no like facilities. Like you guys don't have like the salt trucks or the plows or anything. I always think it's so funny, like when I was going to school in Florida or just like driving down and you start seeing the signs that are like bridge ices before road, or things that like growing up in a cold snowy area you just kind of learn, but take for granted. Oh, you have the salt trucks. Oh, okay. It's just people can't drive. Yeah, the cold is the worst. Oh, that's awesome, Ornetta. My TikTok, I've been watching like all different like crafting stuff. And what keeps popping up on my TikToks are like people who go to thrift stores and have been like repurposing like blankets and sweaters and taking them apart for the yarn. And I thought that was like pretty cool as a, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle type thing. Not leaving the house. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's funny because like here in New York, I feel like we get most types of weather cuz or at least like, you know, you do get the occasional hurricane so you know what to do. But it was funny because when I went out to So Whatever Studio to see Lauren from Mormino for her So Whatever weekend, it was in April. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, I think it's technically part of Tornado Alley. Apparently, Tornado Alley has shifted. And even when we went to Tennessee before, I was like, what do we do with a tornado? That is not something that I know what to do. So the whole time that we were out there, I was super paranoid about that. I was like researching like what do you do if it happens when it's driving and I think I started with the green and then went orange, but I just reversed it, but they're the same size, so I think it's still okay. And if you're just hopping on now or catching, I'm just using these jelly roll strips to basically essentially do like a log cabin block or the idea of it. And hopefully going to make it large enough that I can um, turn it into a pillowcase for my couch. Yeah, it's funny. I still have some friends down in Florida from school and stuff, and it was so wild to see the Panhandle getting snow this past weekend. I really love these colors. I am just like I like colors in general. So I'm super excited about this. Like most of the puff quilt, like I have a puff quilt that is a little bit bigger than a throw size that just lives on my couch that I use all the time. And it's entirely Tula pink. And then I have a couple other puff quilt pillowcases, and they're also made with like bright modern colors. So this is gonna blend in very well, I think. And what's nice is that I am not really doing any math or measuring. I'm literally just lining up the sides. If it's not completely straight, I'm not stressing it at all. So I probably should put these in order so that way, let me do that. I don't, as I get farther along, I'm going to forget the colors that I did. Oh gosh, Cynthia, I would have been panicking so bad. Like a hurricane, I had to evacuate so many times in Florida. Um, but something about a tornado just like I think I think because like hurricanes obviously cause massive devastation too, but I think I've just been like traumatized as like a kid and seeing tornadoes where there's just like literally nothing left. And I also forget that like radio stations and stuff can be interrupted for the warnings. When we were driving back from Tennessee one time, we went up through Kentucky and it broke through. It was like severe storms, but thankfully we were heading away from the area where all the storms were. Oh yeah, I would have been completely panicking. It's just so interesting, you know, like depending like where you live or where you're born, like just what you're used to. I think about the same thing with like California and earthquakes. Like I've only ever felt like small ones. We had one last year here in New York that you could feel, but nothing where you needed to, you know, where you have to worry about major damage or anything like that. I also am happy how this is working out. Um, I was mentioning that I have a jelly roll of Moda fabric, here Kitty Kitty line. That one has some directional prints in it, but I think that even doing it like this, as long as I keep the directional like facing inwards, I guess, as I rotate around, it will look okay. So, have any of you ever gone to, um, like any of the bigger quilt shows? I'm in a few quilting groups and do the puzzle mystery quilt for Cotton Cuts, and QuiltCon is coming up in February in North Carolina. So I've seen, I feel like my social media feeds have been filled with everybody preparing for QuiltCon. I feel like on Tuesday nights I don't really do a lot of bag making. I definitely want to add more in. But for me personally, I've been really enjoying doing the quilting. Like I've gotten a lot of satisfaction of just, all right, now I've done this quick block. It looks good. Gives me that little burst of like accomplishment, and just something that I'm not like, you know, stressing out about to make sure that it's so perfect. I know some people really are big about, you know, matching up points and everything, but for me, for quilting, it's more of a relaxation. Like I don't stress about it as much. How was that one, Arnetta? Was it the original Sewing and Quilt Expo OSQE? Um, I want to go and like vend and apply to teach, but I think that one is in September. Like so many of the shows are like when I'm in school, so it makes it so hard. But I have some bag making friends that vend at the OSQE events, because that particular show has like, I think it's like 6 or 8 different locations all across the U.S. I know they go to Virginia. I know that they go to Florida, Tennessee, I believe Michigan. I also know there's like a big quilt show called Road to California, and they're doing one, I believe it was either this year or last year. It's like their first time, but they're bringing it to Virginia. They had a smaller quilt show for like a local guild last May here in New York, not too far at SUNY Purchase, and we went and checked it out, and it's amazing, like true works of art what people do with their quilting. But when I looked this year, they did. I don't think they're doing it this year. It says it's on like hold as of right now. No, Cynthia, there's so many in Pennsylvania too. I guess because like Lancaster and stuff. I feel like at least for the ones here, here in like the Northeast, I see it's like Virginia and Pennsylvania a lot. But again, it's always the September. I guess that would be the good thing if I did get a assistant principal job. You know, as a teacher, we get like set weeks off for the holidays. But here in New York, if you are like an assistant principal or a principal, you technically work and choose your vacation days. So that would be something nice to be able to do, make things more work or easier to work around. The Phoenix Quilt Show, I would love to. There's I can't think of the one. I've seen a few, and there's like big ones in Texas. The ones out west are just harder just because they're more expensive for me to get to. It's what is it called? I think QuiltCon was actually in Phoenix last year and then is in North Carolina this year. So I want to say they rotated where they held it. Aw, I'm glad, Cynthia. Yeah, I actually have one of the Cotton Cut books. I'm looking because I'm not sure. I'm like looking to my left because I'm not sure if it's here or if it's on my kitchen table. The monthly shipment came in, and so I definitely need to make another one because I have that second friend who's having a baby. And actually, in my to-do pile, I finally, this is the book that Cynthia is asking about. I ordered them from Cotton Cuts. It's like comes as a full yard, and they give you the crinkle and the ribbons. And I had sewed it up on a live previously, but I had left the bottoms. So I actually hand stitched it closed. As much as I hate hand stitching, and I mean, I don't know, it's probably a little bit hard to tell on camera anyways, but I think they did a pretty good job. It's not like super obvious where I close them up. So yeah, I have another one that I need to make. So I'm thinking maybe next week on Tuesday. Yeah, I really like that it all comes together for you. I was looking, so Cotton Cuts has it where you could order like one or do like a 3-month or monthly. And I've seen like other quilt shops, if you just search like quilt, I think I did like a baby book quilt yard or something like that. They come up, but I do like the one from Cotton Cuts because they also included all the extra ribbon and the plastic crinkle to put inside. So I didn't have to go and find any of that myself. definitely one of those people that I like doing different crafts and sewing different things. I will get bored. There's very few bag patterns that I have made a whole bunch of multiples of. And usually it's like the ones of my own pattern, just because I have to before I send them out to be tested or anything like that. And this is working out perfect. This is just a Dollar Tree mat, and then I'm using a 6x8 ruler from Mormino, and this has been perfect to cut everything right here as I'm sewing. Oh, yay. I know. I actually, when I get off of this, I am going to schedule next Tuesday so that way I can hold myself accountable. Yay. I'm really, really liking this. I think you can see all of it so far. I'm gonna expand it as far as I can. I am hoping, I had made one last year, like a quilted pillow that had like a heart on it. And I measured it and it was like 20.5 inches, and that was like finished. So I'm thinking if I can get this to like 22, 23 inches, it should fit the pillow perfectly on my couch. That's funny. When my nieces came to visit, one of my nieces was laying on my puff quilt, and she's like, "Auntie, I need you to make one of these." I'm like, maybe we'll make it together. I actually really enjoy making puff quilts. Um, the one part that is very tedious that I don't enjoy is tying it all together, which is kind of why I like the pillowcase, because you can just cheat and do it through the machine. But I feel like with a quilt, because the backing I always put minky, that I feel like it actually needs to be like tied sturdy. So I spent like multiple days cleaning my craft room and going through it and getting rid of stuff that I just don't really use so much anymore. Like I have a whole stack of wooden signs when I was really big into like painting wooden signs with like my Cricut and stuff. But as I was going through, I have, I think, 4 or 5 quilt tops that I want to get finished this year. And I don't think, like, I don't plan on quilting them on this. This is, the machine that I have, and I cannot imagine wrangling them through here. So I do want to get them long armed, but I need to get the backing and batting and get it all together. But I'm hoping that this is the year where I try to get a lot of my projects finished. Or at least that's my goal. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate every one of you who join in. I know a lot of you come every Tuesday, and then I feel like each week there's some new people, so I really enjoy it. I don't have friends that live near me that sew, so it's nice to be able to chat and interact, even though we're not in person, to still be able to chat with people who sew or are crafty or may just be even interested in learning. Like my brain is like, why does this look rectangle? But I didn't think about it that I didn't, once I put the other 3 sides on, then it will go back to being square. I was watching and looking at different log cabin blocks last night, and I was never really a big fan of them, but I think I realized because a lot of them are made with um, like colors that are very similar, or like one side that makes an L will be like all different fabrics, and then the other side will be like all black or all white or just a solid color. Or, but I was like, you know what? I think if everything is different, that would appeal to me. So I'm happy. I'm trying this. I think this has been a successful experiment so far. Yeah, I enjoy the same, Janet. When I am just sewing for myself, I will put on YouTube and just, sometimes I'll put on like an actual tutorial where maybe it's a new bag or something that I want to learn, or a new technique. Or other times I'll rewatch like people's lives just to um, hear what's going on. I'm thinking that I should probably start. I'm not clipping any of these. I'm just kind of like lining them up as I go. But as this is getting a little bit bigger, I think my seam allowance is wiggling a little bit. So. It's really funny because I never was a big YouTube person until I got into sewing. When I started looking for tutorials for the different patterns that I was trying to make. YouTube came out when I was in like my beginning years of college. And at that time, it was nowhere what it is today, or like what a resource it is today. So it's funny, it wasn't until I almost like gave up sewing because I was trying to teach myself. And I had joined all these like sewing groups on Facebook. And then finally, some people had recommended some different tutorials, and it was like such an aha moment for me. And now it's like one of my go-to resources for trying to learn anything, especially crafting. This little iron is so convenient. I actually this is a new one that I asked for Christmas because my original was on a recall. But I love these little irons as well to just have close by. I bought an Oliso iron when it was on major clearance. It was only like I think $60 from Michael's, like around Black Friday or before Black Friday, and I still haven't even taken it out of the box because I just use this so much. Oh, what part are you having trouble with, Cynthia? So I've always been like crafty even as a kid. So in high school, I was really big into scrapbooking. So I actually had the original Cricut, and then I took a break from it for a while, and I got a Cricut Explore or Explore 2, I think it is. And I never upgraded to the Maker or anything like that. Like everything that I wanted to be able to do, the Explore did. So I'm not super familiar with like the newer machines, but the Explore Air I am. My seam got flipped, so that's what I was just trying to flip back on itself, what you see me doing. Yeah. I also feel like there's definitely a learning curve with Cricut Design Space. But I do feel like it helped me learn, like I taught myself Adobe Illustrator and stuff. That's what I write the patterns with. The other thing, there's some really, I learned a lot for the Cricut too through Facebook groups. I forgot the name of it. There was this Cricut group, and I'm still a member of it, but I don't interact. It basically got bought out by Cricut officially. I think it's called like Official Cricut. And now they don't let you post or talk about anything unless it's like an official Cricut product. But prior to that, you could talk about anything that you could use with your Cricut machine, any product, and I learned so much from that. So I'm sure there's other like helpful Cricut groups too. I transferred to my Cricut software and it came out too big. Did you, was the Pipple a like an SVG already? That's one thing, like sizing and stuff. You have to kind of like group things together to resize them. I know that's a problem. That's actually one of my gripes with SVGs for bags. This is just my personal preference. In my bag patterns, I always include SVGs and include them each piece separately. A lot of people, or at least prior, I think it is changing because people got feedback on this, would put all the SVGs of the bag together. And if you're not super tech savvy to know what to like ungroup or remove or hide, it makes it so difficult. And that's, I'm not sure if that's the trouble you were having, but it almost sounds like that. And then if this SVGs are not made correctly, when you import them into like your Cricut software, it is supposed to be like 4 inches and now it's like 14. Yeah. It sounds like that you probably have to upload it and then make sure that every single piece is what Cricut calls like grouped together, and then shrink it all at the same exact time. Yeah, I would look into grouping, not attaching. That's the other thing with Cricut. Like there's grouping and attaching. And if you attach, then it doesn't do the same thing. Sometimes it, and I always recommend definitely test it on like paper first, especially new SVGs, or if you're not sure how they're going to turn out. I always try to test them on like scrap paper or cardstock before, because that's the worst. I've totally ruined so much good vinyl thinking something was going to work and that it didn't cut the way that I wanted. Yeah, I used to do a whole bunch. I used to make like all my nieces the birthday shirts with the iron-on vinyl or HTV. I still do stuff sometimes, but not as much. I've been so busy with sewing that I don't really do that type of stuff anymore. Yeah, there's I really like tech stuff. So I play around with it a lot. And even as just like part of my job, I taught tech in the classroom to my students, and Adobe, like there's free trainings for different Adobe software for teachers. And I always try to join those things to try to learn as much as I can, because everything sewing and bag making have been self-taught. So same thing with using like Illustrator and Publisher to write the patterns. So there's it comes up sometimes in like the different sewing groups of the cost of patterns, and you know, why are they so expensive if, you know, the designer is not like printing paper or whatever. But I can tell you, like, a pattern, if especially if it includes like SVGs and like done in Illustrator and Publisher, probably has like hundreds of hours of work behind it. I actually have one that is half written right now that has been half written for like months, that I need to get motivated and try to finish. But it's so much work, and I'm funny, like, even though I'm a teacher, like Jason laughs at me because I'm like, I hate rough drafts. So I can't like type up my pattern instructions, then take pictures, then kind of like put it all together. I have to do it all at once. So I'm literally like sewing it, typing the instructions, taking the picture, inserting the picture, then move on to the next step. So it's definitely, and everybody's different. I also think it's really fascinating the different way that people write patterns, just because everybody's brain works so differently. So I'm actually curious. Someone in one of the groups the other day was talking about, they were talking about bag making, and they were asking what people prefer. If you prefer like illustrations, meaning like there's like a drawn picture or a diagram, or if you prefer like real life photos in a pattern. And for me, my personal preference is the real life photos. For whatever reason, my brain has a lot of trouble trying to figure out just diagrams. So I'm curious that if you use any type of patterns, whether it's bags, clothing, crochet, do you prefer like real life pictures, or do you prefer more of a diagram? So I'm super excited. I just finished that last color around that way. So now it's square. And I'm loving how this is looking. And I also like rotating because I feel like it's not necessarily giving any particular shape. You like real pictures? Yeah. For me, something about like, because then I feel like I can see right and wrong side better. I can see if there's interfacing. With a diagram, my brain like messes up the color coding all the time. I just pulled this huge ruler from out the side. I am at about 16, a little bit less than 16 and a half inches right now. I'm just trying to figure, I probably need 2 more strips around. This is the giant ruler that I got from Mormino. It's 18 by 18. It's really convenient for bigger pieces like this. The only thing is that, all right, I think I might have enough of all these to go around, but I have a whole other set of strips if I need them. And I showed it earlier, but I know I have some new people that have hopped on. I had already made this willow wristlet like last year using these strips, so I'm getting a lot of like coverage, I guess you could say, because I use quite a bit for that. How many? 5 designs for this. I guess there's 20 strips, and they're all 42 inches long. So there's quite a bit. Well, I guess I'd have to do the math. I wonder if that is the same as like a standard quilting jelly roll. You like diagrams, Janet. Okay, see, that's really good to know. Um, and that was kind of the consensus in the person's group that was asking. There was quite a few people that preferred diagrams. I will say, I think as now that I am a more experienced sewist and I kind of understand the wording better, I have become better with patterns that use diagrams. But when I was first learning, it was, oh my gosh, it was like a whole nother language. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't decided. So this is gonna be the front. I haven't decided if I want to put like a batting behind this and actually do quilting, or if I am literally just gonna pick a backing and do like right sides together, put the zipper in and turn it. Because I don't think it's so big that it needs actual quilting lines to hold it together. So I haven't decided that part. Let me know if you think that I should actually quilt lines onto it, or if you think it would be fine just using it as is. Oh no, Nicole! Is it always Tuesdays? Sometimes I think about it like on the weekend when I was doing all the quilt blocks. I was like, I should just go live randomly and do this. That's another goal this year, that I want to be more consistent with the Tuesdays, but maybe more often just like going live randomly when I'm working on some stuff. I think that will also help me stay on track. All right, so I'll definitely have to do lives at another time for you, Nicole. Yeah, I'm not really sure, because I guess if I were to quilt this, like sew quilting lines on it, like I personally kind of like it without any quilting lines. I think that if I were to quilt, I would just follow, not I guess I could do stitch in the ditch because I have pressed it, but maybe just like follow along the edges here. So I don't know. That's the one thing I feel like actual quilting takes so much time. But I don't plan on doing that part tonight, so I plan on just kind of finishing this front part, and then I'll pick out a backing and watch some tutorials about how to do a hidden zipper. So I'll definitely update you, or maybe even, I guess if I feel confident with the zipper part, maybe I'll do it on next Tuesday. Yeah, I'm definitely, yeah, this one's gonna fit, but I feel like it's getting so big that I'm trying now to move everything out of the way. And the other thing too about this fabric, that because it's so affordable that I don't mind, like it's not a problem to like actually use the pillows. My mom growing up, we always had like decorative pillows. It's like, don't use them. Uh, so for this, I'm like, all right, well, it looks nice and I'm gonna actually use it. I think that's something else that I've taken away from a lot of the craft groups. I see it a lot with like quilting, where there's quite a few people who are like, you know, I made somebody a quilt, like I want to see them use it, like if it's a baby quilt, like I want to see the baby on the floor, like take it out for a picnic, and I really have been trying to embrace that mindset of, you know, you made something so nice and actually, you know, use it for its intended purpose. All right, Nicole. So you okay? Because I'm like I don't think it needs to be quilted. There's not a lot of like little pieces, so I don't really think it's gonna come on done. And it's only gonna be about by the time I sew it all together like about a 20-inch, maybe like 22-inch pillow. So I might just leave it without the extra quilting because that seems like a lot of work. And I'm going to stuff this anyways, so it's not like I need batting or anything like that. Like it's just gonna serve as a pillowcase. What I do need to do is I have a whole bunch of like fleece and minky, and I'm looking underneath. I think there's a like a pale blue that will match this light blue that's in here that I might use for the backing. And I think actually this last time of going around will give me the measurement that I needed, because I needed about 4 inches. So not thinking as I'm sewing around this, I was actually adding to each side. So I do think I will be good with it. But I am going to have to, these are all now too short. But let me leave them in the order. I don't know why, like if I don't visually leave these in the order, I'm gonna mix them up, so. You sold all of your Tula Pink stuff? Was it like stuff that you had made, or? I love Tula. She's probably my favorite fabric designer, but it's just because I love the colors that she uses. I love the animals. So I think it's that I love about her. I definitely have a lot of her fabric corded, so that is, you'll probably see me doing a lot of quilting on Tuesday nights, and so I definitely want to use up. I have some, what is it, like not, what are they called, the cake layer cakes. I have a couple layer cakes and some fat quarter bundles of hers in different prints of hers. I also bought a really cute bundle of cat fabric, a fat quarter bundle. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to count to see how many fat quarters are actually in it. So I've been looking for the perfect project for that. So if you guys have suggestions, let me know. All right. like I got one big mess over here right now, but purple, pink, blue. Oh, that's great, Nicole. How did you sell it in one of the fabric groups? I have some cotton lycra. I haven't posted in a while. It wasn't really selling. I have some cotton lycra from like backstitch and stuff that I'm not gonna use that I need to post. And yeah, I agree. I don't end up really selling a ton of my stuff. I'll do like smaller like craft fairs. But yeah, I've never tried one in New York City itself. But back home in Connecticut, like the bright stuff with the younger people it will, but like my mom's always like, what are you gonna do with that psychedelic thing? Oh, that's great. Yeah, people are crazy for Tula Pink, especially if, like you said, her out of print stuff. If you've had it for a while and they can't access it, and that's good too because now at least you have money back in your pocket that you could put into something that, um, you know, will serve you and your business better. That's kind of what when I was cleaning and going through all my fabrics, I was doing kind of like the same thing. Like, oh, okay, this I would be fine to part with, and this I definitely want to make stuff out of. I actually just bought a couple Ellie and Mac patterns. Every week they do like a sale for $3.50. So I just bought a sweatshirt and a pair of shorts pattern. And one of my friends, she gave me her old projector. So I need to, maybe like on a day on a weekend, like set up the projector and just cut out a whole bunch of like cotton lycra stuff. Yeah, exactly. I I keep a lot of things because I'm one of those people like I don't throw stuff out, especially like if it's usable. I hate like just wasting things. But I will like donate or resell or a lot of my crafting stuff now that my nieces are older, it's stuff that they'll enjoy using. So I brought that home. The other thing, I went through all my teaching materials. I had in the closet like 4 crates of just like teaching materials. And so I separated it out for stuff that my nieces can use to play school and then stuff that I am going to give to other teachers that they might actually be able to use in their classroom. Cynthia, yeah. So I usually buy like if it's custom fabrics from like a lot of bag making groups, I generally buy just 1 yard. And what I do with like quilting cotton, I'll buy like fat quarters or fat quarter bundle, the layer cakes, the charm packs, just so it's not what's it called? So it gives me that variety and I'm not like overwhelmed with a ton of fabric. How big is this pillow? Let me measure it again. I am at, all right, so that is 18. It's at a little bit over 22, this like top to bottom. And this side here is about 18 and a half. So I'm just going to add on the last 2 strips, and then I think it will be good there. Because the other thing is I'm using a 1/4 inch to sew these pieces together, but I know that I want to back it with something fluffy, either minky or like a flannel. And whenever I do the pillowcases, like the puff quilt pillowcase, I always do at least a 1/2 inch. It's like a pillow insert. When we bought our couch, it came with like 10 different throw pillows of all different sizes. Some of them are like a little bit larger than 20 inches, and then there's some that are more rectangle. So this I want to use on one of the bigger ones, and they're like quite stuffed full. So I'm not going to use polyfill. It's basically like a pillow form, but it's what came in our couch already. And the fabric it came with is really cute. It was like a plaid, but the material of it from just using it has really started to like pill up, and they just don't look so nice anymore. And our couch is gray, so now it's going to be have a rainbow of colorful throw pillows. And I want to put the invisible zipper in, so that way I can remove it and just wash it easier. Yeah, the ones that I have now on there, I've done like the envelope style, but sometimes I feel like they want to pop open. Like maybe I should put like a plastic cam snap or something to hold them a bit better. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna add, oh my gosh, did I really just, oh no, all right. I don't know, I saw the pink here and I panicked that I did pink and then pink, but I didn't, so we're good. I just got one more now of the light blue. And what's nice is I still have 3 full-length strips of 2 of the colors, and then I think 4 of the other 2. So I have a lot of the strips left, so that I can do more with this. Yeah, Cynthia, when you did the back, did you do it with quilting cotton or did you do it with like a stretchy? Because I did mine with minky, and I think that I probably should have made it slightly smaller, because I feel like with the stretch of minky, over time it started like gaping a little bit. That, or they're the smaller ones, where I bought an insert. I bought like an IKEA insert. So that, or maybe I should get a slightly bigger insert to kind of like fill them out a little bit better. It was funny because I had some pillows in like our spare bedroom that at IKEA that I had bought like a pillow insert, and I remember the insert being like $2.99, and I went to IKEA like in December, and the same pillow insert was $10. I was like, all right, well, this is not as much of a bargain as it used to be. Oh, okay. A lot more fabric to. Yeah, so maybe that's what I need to do, Nicole, because some of them I definitely think that I need to add more. Oh, that's cool. I love upholstery fabric. I am a big fan of using like cotton canvas, which is generally like a lot used for upholstery. I love that in bag making. I actually find that sometimes it lasts longer than the vinyl. So a lot of my bags that I carry personally for myself are some kind of combination of soft fabric, whether it's like the water resistant canvas, the Majestic nylon, a cotton canvas, in combination with vinyl or cork. I love cork. Great. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I'm not sure if I might finish up the pillow over the weekend. If I do, I'll definitely show you Tuesday because I really want to um, sew up that other baby book that I have. Yeah, see, that's smart, Nicole. Like, that is like a whole bunch extra of the overlap. I think on one of them, I definitely just did not overlap enough. Yeah, I miss Joann's having like their outdoor or like that cotton canvas fabric to be able to get. It works so nice for bags or in like the custom bag making group. I will I will order cotton canvas over quilting cotton. I just bought a whole bunch from Jenna from the Natural Nerd that are like fairy tale themed and stuff. So I need to cut out a bag because I want to make myself a bag out of that. All right, so I'm going to stop here tonight. I'm trying to. I don't even know if I can get it all on camera. So it's like about 22 inches or so. I'm trying to make it, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So this will, once I do the, like, sew it together and have the seam allowance, it should fit in perfectly. It's actually more rectangle. I'm trying to figure out, did I do 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I don't know. It's a little more rectangle than it is square, I believe, but that's fine. It's going to work perfectly for the pillow insert that I need. I just need it large enough in one way. I will squish it in. Aw, thanks. I'm super happy with it. I love the pastel colors. It's perfect for hopefully spring. Reminds me of like Easter colors. But I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I always appreciate it. I am going to schedule the next Tuesday one, so I will definitely be on for sure next Tuesday. So hopefully you guys will tune in again. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like I said, I really wanted to see. I wanted to make one out of that other jelly roll. So it's in the living room where I'd grab it. Next week I'll show it to you. So I was like, you know what? I have these that are a little bit less expensive. Let me try it on this. So I think I'm going to do this same design with the Here Kitty Kitty jelly roll at some point for sure. Maybe I'll do it in like an actual like tutorial so people can like go back and watch it, like not a live version. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Nicole. I appreciate all of you. I really, I feel like I have like friends. It's such a like a cool feeling knowing like each week a lot of you show up, and it's like I feel like I know you even though we haven't really met in real life. But hopefully someday, hopefully I'll get to like a quilt show or bag show or something in your area. But I hope you guys all have a great week. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good night. Stay warm if you're in one of these cold states. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.